Never before has any book I've ever read forced me into thinking so much about balls. So I'm partaking in the Penguin Summer Readathon. Penguin have been so kind as to send me a whole box full of books, and they're giving you guys 6 chances to win them all as well. In said readathon, every week a different booktuber will be talking about the book they've been assigned. First we had Benjamin of Tomes, Squealing About Anywhere by John Ronson. Next week, Charlie Reads will be Lilting Lovingly Upon Lies Like Love by Louisa Reed. After that it will be the amazing Shout Amy speaking in fairly dulcet tones about Will Grayson, Will Grayson. Then Casey from the Bitter Productions will be presenting a full-fledged review of Half Bad by Sally Green. And to finish the summer off, Lucy from the Babbling Bibliophile will be wrangling Dangerous Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. This week you're stuck with me as I attempt to communicate to you the gorgeous Gordian knot of emotions that is Winger by Andrew Smith. Ryan Dean, despite having 2 first names to choose from, is known by most boys at his boarding school as Winger. It's what happens to rugby boys. The team brands you, and from then on your nickname is inescapable. At least there are worse things he could have been known for. 2 years younger than everyone else in his year, Ryan Dean is very aware of his every measly pound and his skinny ass bitch status. But then everyone has their defining features. Shawnee's the stalker, Joey's the gay one, and Chaz Becker, forever nicknamed Betch, is the terrifying crazy arsehole who, unfortunately for Ryan Dean, has been assigned to live with him this term in the punishment block of O Hall. Ryan Dean was so determined that this year he'd finally turn it round, that this year he'd stay out of trouble, that this year he'd finally prove to Annie, the totally hot 5 out of 5 incandescent bulbs on the Ryan Dean electric scale of hotness Annie, that he wasn't just some little kid. But with late night poker games, fights with the football team, and the course of true love never running smooth, it looks like perma-virgin arsewing Ryan Dean is going to be in O Hall forever. This is one of those all the feels books. Ryan Dean's internal monologue is funny. He has a very particular way of narrating and it gets you giggling. That's without going into the little comics and drawings he produces to further illustrate his plight. But this book really has more to it than that. It really captures how quickly life can turn on a pin, how suddenly everything can fall apart, and yet, even though you know nothing's going to be the same again, you still have to fill up your lungs with that next breath of air. I was a bit worried when I started this book as to the prevalence of rugby between its covers. I'm your run-of-the-mill bibliovore. My sum total knowledge of all things sport could quite happily be accommodated in an egg cup. Once, however, I got past not knowing exactly what a fly half was or how to cook my scrimmage, I realised I loved the rugby elements of this book because I loved the relationships between the boys on the team. I loved the way they'd look out for each other. And, of course, the way they'd sing together. I feel like when we're binarying up books for boys and grimoires for girls, the very presence of relationships and emotions is to assign masculine fiction to the pinker side of the coin. I felt Winger actually broke new ground in having a lot of what were stereotypically masculine topics, and yet founding them in true emotional depth. Also, this book, more than any I've read, breaks down that sense of other. It goes beyond the typical high school story of having our heroes and bullies and blurs that line between them into nothingness. At the start of the story, our young, weedy protagonist is forced to share a room with the biggest, baddest, meanest bully in the school, but pretty soon you don't see either character as these caricatures anymore. It's not always the ones you expect who get hurt, or who do the hurting. The final praise I can give this book, and believe me, the John Green fan I am, this is praise of the highest order, is to recommend it to anyone who loves looking for Alaska. If you read that and now miss the boarding school, the pranks, and those characters you just fall in love with, Winger is definitely a book for you. Anyway, tell me what you think of The Sound of Winger in the comments down below. Of course, if you want to win your very own copy of Winger, along with a load of other books and goodies, I will link to the Spinebreakers website down below. I'll also link to all the other YouTubers taking part in the readathon. Every one of their videos will be another chance for you to win. Before I go, I'll quickly announce the winner of the last giveaway I was involved in, who is winning a signed copy of Alex as well. That is Julia Sophie. I'll contact you and get the book to you as soon as possible. With that, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye!